Good evening, YouTube. Back again with another Duxot watch review. And today we have the Altius. Check this bad boy out. So this is another Duxot, obviously. Duxot is a company owned by Dartmouth Brands, and I have been super impressed with the quality you get from this company. Every time I go to their website, I find another one that I want to request because they have so many different options. And honestly, these are just fantastic watches. Now, a lot of the watches they make are actually homage watches. I'm not sure if this is a homage to something, but let's talk about it. So it is available in a couple different color variations. This is the black face. They did sneak in what appears to be a rose tone variation on a leather strap. And I think this is probably something that I might have requested on leather. And generally I don't. I'm more of a bracelet guy, but I think this is a very clean, simple, classy, very subdued dress watch. Now, on bracelet, this could go either way. This could be considered dive watch as well, but we do have an automatic movement. We're going to talk about which one we have, hopefully, and just talk about what I think of this watch. This is a great looking piece. Very simple, very clean, and although, you know, when I look at watches, usually there needs to be something that kind of really sets it apart for me to really get super excited about it, but there are other watches that I just like to wear that are very simple. This is not a watch that's going to get noticed. It's not a watch that's going to scream, hey, look at me. This is a watch just built with a interesting design and just simply good quality, right? So it is available in a couple different color variations. You have 9 different variations. I'll throw a picture up here probably about now, and you can take a look at which other ones might be interesting to you. When I requested this, it looks like there's 2 different variations in this. So we have a standard automatic, which looks like it has a smaller sub-dial 60-second hand, or dial, excuse me, and then we have the version that this is. Here, so let me just click this. This is done in the matte black. And what's cool about this is actually has a power reserve. So it looks like this is actually your second hand and then a power reserve. Some of the other variations do not have the power reserve. I'm a huge fan of power reserves. When I think about my watch collecting, one of the earliest watches that I had with the power reserve is going to be made by Android or Aragon. A lot of other watches didn't do that. I don't even think a lot of Invictas do that. So I think if I had to choose between a chronograph movement or an automatic, or quartz chronograph or an automatic with a power reserve, I'd always take the automatic with a power reserve. Not to keep saying power reserve, but I like that feature. It lets you know how much juice is left in the tank, right? So, which I think is much more practical and more usable than a chronograph, whether quartz or automatic. I don't use a watch ever to time anything, so I don't really need to have a chronograph. And all a chronograph really is a stopwatch. Really, that's it. So what do we get here? So it says, with a unique power reserve indicator, the Altius serves the wearer with even greater usefulness, providing at a glance up to date on how much of a charge is still left on the mainspring, right? That's about it, really. I mean, I like this a lot more than the other variations, which is interesting that they did this exact watch with just a second hand. I don't know why you wouldn't incorporate the power reserve on each model. So if I had to choose, of course, you know, when I mentioned earlier whether I've chose it on the leather strap, knowing that it doesn't have that power reserve, I probably wouldn't have. So I think that's something that I think really sets this watch apart. You know, I like I said, I'll always take that feature or that complication or dial over a chronograph or even date. I mean, really, I'll take that over date, day of the week, anything. It's more functional for my needs, right, or for my wants and needs. So pricing this $690. Again, this is the matte black version. You're probably getting a little bit of reflection there, but it's the best I can do with this time of day. Let's look at the specs. What do we get on this? So right off the bat, it looks like I'm going to call this like an onion style crown. I'm not sure if that's the proper terminology for it, but it really sticks out pretty far. Really nice, very easy to adjust. Not that you're going to be adjusting this very often, but very simple, very clean. It is not a screw down crown, so your water resistance is going to suffer a little bit. Not bad. You still get 10 ATMs of water resistance. 316 stainless steel. That is one of the major check boxes. You know, for me, you know, number one, do you like it? Do you like the way this looks? For me, this is a little more simple. You know, I will say that this watch, although I'm not saying I don't like it, that's not the case because I like all watches. This is probably a watch I would kind of more, and I don't ever consider a watch a beater watch, but this is a watch I probably would wear more if I was doing something where I wasn't too concerned with scratching it up, right? It's simple. There's no mirror polishing. I'm not sure what class you would put this watch under, whether it be more of like a tactical, whether it be more of like I don't know, more like a field watch, but it definitely has sort of a vintage kind of military vibe to it. I'm not sure if that's where they were going, but that's what I feel it has. We do have a dual push button butterfly clasp. Something that some folks say they like, some folks say they don't. I think a butterfly clasp is really more of a dressier kind of clasp. I kind of picture this more on like a dress watch where you have, you know, a nice fluid bracelet around your wrist. You know, to me, it's not really a big deal. I don't really look too much at the clasp when I'm buying a watch. It really comes down to, do I like it? Are we getting 3/16 stainless steel? And what kind of movement do we have? For those other checkboxes for folks, it has a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. That's definitely a checkbox for some. Again, you have that mechanical automatic with power reserve. I don't know which automatic movement. Unfortunately, they don't have it listed. Again, very disappointing. They need. I'm going to say it in every video until they change it, because we want to know what it has. I'm going to guess and say it's probably a Miyota of some sort. That's usually what they are with a lot of these, what I would consider micro brand companies. It does have this, again, the power reserve and the two-hand small second hands, it says here. So, not sure what it means by two-hand small. Automatic two-hand. I guess they mean automatic two-hand. Obviously, you know, we have minute and an hour, and then a second subdial. That's going to be your second. Again, that pretty cool power reserve. I like that feature. I think it's a great feature. I wish more companies did it, but a lot of them don't. And when I wind that, what's cool about it is when you're winding this watch, you can actually see the power reserve heading towards that 40, almost 50 hour mark. Very cool. Love that. And what I like about that too is, like, when you're winding your watches, it ensures you're not going to overwind your watches, which I've never done. I usually give them a little wind and call it a day, but very cool. And then you have that kind of red kind of, hey, we're on E indicator there to let you know, hey, you know, time to wind your watch. So really easy, very simple to wear this. Not having a screw down crown makes this a breeze just to quickly wind. That's really about it. Again, the 10 ATMs of water resistance, all solid stainless steel. You're getting a screw-on case back, great construction. You really can't go wrong with anything made from Duxot. I wish I could tell you more of what I consider this as far as the category. You know, let me know what you guys think. Is it a dress watch? Is it more of like a field watch? I lean more towards field watch with this, but having that dual push-button butterfly clasp, I would say maybe no on that. So, you know, I think sometimes companies just decide what class they put on, maybe from, you know, maybe because they have extras in stock, maybe there's more of the butterfly class, not really sure, but it's, like I said, it's never something that dissuades me, but it doesn't have the lock, and you know, I don't think that's a big deal at all, depending on what you're going to be doing with it. I think there was a video of Conor McGregor throwing a ball or something recently. Maybe it wasn't recently, but with his Patek almost flying off his wrist. So spent $150,000 on a watch, probably more, and it still falls off your wrist. So, you know, I mean, got to take those things with a grain of salt. That's about it. As far as the color variations here, you know, I threw the picture up earlier, but maybe I'll throw it up again here. We'll see when I edit this video. You know, you have the brown, which is kind of nice. You have the golds, the blacks, the green, blue. I think this is definitely a very conservative looking watch. Very simple, very clean. It does have a pretty large wrist presence. We have 46 millimeters in case diameter, which is, you know, getting larger. You know, when you start getting towards 47, I think we start to call that oversized, or a lot of folks would. If you're an Invicta guy, you're going, oh, it's too small, but you know, 46 is still a pretty good size watch, and it's pretty cool. You know, this might even be considered almost like a pilot watch, but you know, I don't really know what would make it a pilot watch. It just has power reserve, and you know, there's nothing really over the top to make that pilot watch. But again, very clean, very simple, and I think this is definitely going to be something that appeals to many, many different folks out there. It's simple, it's clean, it's classy. This watch I did not size yet, surprisingly. I thought I had sizes. So I haven't even worn this one yet, but I will throw this on the wrist and give you guys an idea of you know, what it's going to look like. You know, again, it is flopping around here, but I'll review these all at a later date. I'll probably do kind of a one giant video unboxing at some point showing every Duxot watch. But for now, check out the playlist. You can check out all the different Duxot watches. And, you know, whatever watch really suits your personality, whatever watch really kind of sparks your interest, just know that any watch you get from Duxot is going to be fantastic quality, and you really can't go wrong with this brand. So, again, I have a 7-inch wrist, but if it was size, that's what it would look like on a wrist my size. Definitely has a nice wrist presence. You really can't go wrong with the size of the watch. As far as, I always like to mention any kind of deals that might be out there. This watch right now, if you were to buy it through Duxot, and again, use my link, use my coupon. I'm trying to save you guys a little bit of money. Should you want to pick this up, they're selling this for $650. This particular variation's out of stock, so you might have to go with a different color. A lot of these might be sold out on their website. I think, let me just check the brown. Yeah, it looks like all of them are sold out, but definitely double check. You never know by the time you watch this video and are interested in it. Just make sure they're sold out. But the good news is that I'll also put the link to Ashford, and I'll pop that link up right now. Hopefully that popped up here. But you can get this watch right now. Get this, same watch. I think that's the only other... I think it's the only... They have a couple colors, actually. This is a crazy deal. $149. I mean, you can't go wrong with that price for a watch with an automatic movement. Again, we don't know what automatic movement, and that's unfortunate because that's going to be, you know, you guys watch this video and say, hey, you know, I really like that watch. $149, that's great, I'm going to buy it. It's going to be important what movement's in the watch. So if you are at that point where you're getting ready to pull the trigger on it and you need to know, drop me a comment or drop me an email and I'll find out for you. But great looking watch. Definitely going to make some folks happy. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Let me know if I can help in any way. Have a great evening and take care.